Hi, I'm David Smith, and I have decided to get baptized. Yeah, I'm actually a local grown kid. Was born and raised here. Family was already well established in the church. Grew up less than 2 miles from the church, so it was a very small world. About the age of 6, we were, as a family, sitting down for devotions, and we had been talking through the Christmas story, and I made a profession of faith that night, sitting there with my mother. A lot of those things, looking back now, felt as though I was just doing the right thing. I knew what it meant to believe in God and to understand my sin and my need for salvation, but to understand the relationship and the walking out of it was a whole entire different thing, which became really clear when I turned 18 and walked out into the world, and there it was, this big whole world. I had no anchor in a relationship with Christ at all to hold me fast in any way. So I walked. In that 15 years, I got married. We tried to do the right thing and, make sure the kids went to church. But at the time, I was dealing with some real serious personal issues, dealing with work and family, and I was struggling a lot with that mentally, and it was having an impact on our marriage and on our home. And our marriage fell apart. I knew then and there that God was up to something. You don't ever get rid of the spirit inside you, just tugging and pulling, and you can try and ignore it, you can try and dampen it all you want, but once it's there, it's just there. About all I had left was my parents, my hometown here. And so I came back. Little did I know that 6 months from the day I walked back into my parents' home, my mother was going to pass from this earth. But it was such a significant blessing. Those last 6 months, we had a lot of one-on-one time spent together, and she was my greatest reflection of God throughout my entire life. And so I learned a lot from that, but I was still trying to just do everything on my own. Everything was by my own physical strength. And then God took my health. And so then I was pretty much forced to just sit and listen. And so I started listening, and I started talking to God very real. For the last 5 years, I'd thought that I was pursuing that, really listening, but I was only giving up as much as I felt I had to. I was only giving up so much control, and I knew that God was going to do something with that if I would just let Him. It's been a waterfall ever since of just sign after sign after sign after sign of listen, stop, pray, listen, stop, pray. Now that I finally feel it, it's like an addiction. It's like, why would you put an end to this? Why would you try to dampen any of this? That's the story, and I know now that being baptized is so much more of a statement, and it needs to be done with that knowledge of I now know that my life is nothing, and it's only here to be used by God, to let God use me now, however He sees fit, whatever that means.